person don't know how many billionaires there are in the world, because most of the people were billionaires because wealth was always in their family. Right. But we all like a rags to riches story. We all like something to hear. What was the struggle? How did you get through the struggle? Why? Because we all go through struggle. Right. And I know we sing songs like the struggle is over, but there's going to be a greater level of struggle after you deal with that. Don't let these songs pump you up to think you're going to get through something and not go through nothing else. Why? Because it was meant for us. Where there is no struggle, there is no progress. That's what, who said that? W. Du Bois. And then in the scripture it says, man born of a woman is of a few days. Right. And those days are full of trouble. There's going to be some trouble, but the trouble will train us to do what God has called us to do. Yeah. There are people that are waiting for you to succeed through your test. Because once you get through your test, I reckon that the sufferings of this present time is not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us. The glory is produced out of the suffering. That's right. So when you go through your suffering, God gets glory. Why? Because what he's placed in his word helped you get through it, and we were obedient. Our job is obedience. God's job is the outcome. We can't figure it all out. But God said this. I don't know how my kid's going to get through this, but God said if I do this, he'll do that. I don't know how my money situation is going to change, but God said if I pay my tithes, he'll open up the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing that I won't have room enough to receive it, and he'll rebuke the devourer for my sake. So I can't say what will happen because I don't know, but I know what he told me to do. Yes, God. And that's where we have to be. What did he tell us to do? Living in, how many of y'all grew up with a lot of brothers and sisters? Most of the time when your parents, if you were the oldest or you were the next oldest, when your parents leave the house, they'll leave somebody in charge. And when they left them in charge, most of the time the baby is running around making all the mess. So when they come back, they'll say, well, what happened? Well, such and such did this. I left you in charge. And that's what God is saying. We can't talk about everybody else because he told us.
Amen. Help him, Lord, help him. You better.
So now we're going to get the punishment. Because the world is not going to obey a word that they have no idea what it says. Right. He said that we are here to give sight to the blind. The people in the world, this is foolishness to them. Yeah, I ain't got no money. That don't make sense in the world. Have faith. Jump up and down. Repeat what Pastor Lecture said. What y'all talking about? I ain't got no time for that. I got bills.
Help him, Lord.
I got stuff at home going on. I got this craziness. Anybody in their right mind with logical thinking, you won't do what the word said because it does not it does not line up with life. Because it really doesn't make sense. But he says that we ought to have, it says that our faith is produced out of the word. Our faith is produced out of the word. God is not here to make sense. He's here to make faith. He wants to build our faith to a greater level so that now we can operate like Jesus, who said that the Son of Man had no place to lay his head. But now I don't worry about where I got to do and what I got, the things that I have to. Now don't get me wrong, don't be crazy and not plan things and put things together, because we have a God that plans for us. He plans for us. He plans for us. He plans for us. So we must be a people of what? Planning. He is a creative God. He is the creator. So we must be creative people. So there's things inside of us that God is going to stir up. But we have to be at a place that no matter what I face, I believe God. I know what they said, but I believe God. I know that the cancer is there, but I believe God. I know that they said that I need brain surgery, but I believe God. I know that they said I got diabetes, but I believe God. I know they said I had a stroke, but I believe God. And this is why the church is jacked up, because we don't believe God. When we start to really grab this word and be, that's why the Bible talks about coming like little children. Little children will believe anything. You tell them Santa Claus is coming, they'll bet their lives on Santa Claus. They'll put cocoa or coffee and cookies and all that type of stuff they'll put together because Santa is coming down the chimney. Most of the people ain't even have a chimney.
Right.
We in the hood. Where a chimney at? But the thing about it is they believed.
Help them, Lord. Stay right there, preacher.
They believed. There was no chimney there, but they believed. When will we get to the point where we believe again? Where did our expectation die? When did we stop longing and looking to God? When did church become a supplement for God? Because now we equate God with coming to church.
Good.
Oh, I came to church. I fulfilled my thing, my duty. But when are we going to get to the heart of God? God, I need you for real. For real. I need you because I know how to lead worship, but that's just what I do. But I need you to lead. Right. I know how to preach his gospel, and I can get up here and be hurting and dealing with suicidal thoughts and dealing with all of these issues and preach you under the chairs and then go kill myself. But God, I need you.
I need you.
If we are not honest with where we are, we'll never ever achieve what God intended for us to achieve. There's too many people on too many things that have occupied our minds. Mm-hmm. And just because you're busy and moving doesn't mean that you are effective. We're all over the place. We don't have time for stuff anymore. The things that are important, we don't have time for. And the things that are not important, we have all the time for. We rather deal with the everyday life, and we work jobs that we don't really like, but we work them for 20 and 30 years, and they have nothing to do with the purpose that we was connected to when the dreams used to come when we were younger. We had dreams, but the dreams died because we said reality came in. But what God is saying is, when are you going to get back to what I told you?
That's good. That's good. That's a good question.
When are you going to get back to what I told you to do? These are pointless. When are you going to get back to what I told you to do? When are you going to get back to what you used to dream about? When are you going to get back to what used to keep you up at night?
Amen, amen.
Some of us got fired from jobs because God was trying to push us to be entrepreneurs. But we run into trying to find another job.
Right.
And God is saying, I'm giving you time so that you can get your business plan together.
Amen.
Some of y'all are frustrated every day, but you're faithful to your 9 to 5. But you are miserable at the same time. But then some of us have allowed ministry to become misery. So we've lost the connection. We've lost the resource that we're supposed to be pulling from. The source. We've lost all of these things, and we're working these jobs, and we're miserable, and we're frustrated, and now it's become what we just do. I'm miserable, but now I've learned to live with misery long enough. I'm not happy in my marriage, but I've learned to, we got a routine. I'm not happy in this place I'm in. I'm not happy in this apartment. I'm not happy in these places. I'm not happy with this neighborhood, but my grandmother lived in this neighborhood, and my mother lived in this neighborhood, but now I gotta live in this neighborhood. We have settled for so many things, and Jesus came to free us from it. Some of us are so wrapped up into bad relationships so much that we don't even know how to recognize something good. Some of us have never had money so long that if money came, we wouldn't know what to do with it.
That's right. That's right.
Some of us, we got $1 million blessing. Hey, $1 million.
Where's the next one?
And then somebody give you $1 million. What would you do with it? You got your plan together. What would you do with it? Would you make it work? Because some of us could spend $1 million in a week.
In a day.
And in a day. And you have nothing to show for it.
In a day.
But if God allowed these things, that's why God does not allow certain things to be released into our hands yet. Because we ain't ready yet. When we get ready, when we get to a place of revelation, when God starts to reveal those things to us, and the invitation that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, when God starts to do that stuff, will we get into a posture? Because see, we got to understand that we can't put new wine into old wineskins. Because the thing about it is, we'll keep giving people stuff, and it's like putting a penny in a pocket with a hole in it. We put money in a pocket and just keep going out. Why? Because we're not in the plan. We're not in the place. We're not really understanding what is God saying for my life in order for me to operate in these systems, to create these boundaries in my life. Because if I don't create these boundaries in my life, I'm going to waste everything away. I'm going to waste my anointing. I'm going to waste my ability. So much anointing is wasted. There's so many people out here that are anointed to do so many things. But because you settled with life, and you settled with yourself not to grow. Growth is a choice. And we grow through what we go through. Because we don't want to go through nothing, we never grow. And because we never grow, we'll never ever see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. We'll never ever get to see what God truly has for us. We'll never get to see the businesses and the finances and all of these things that our families have struggled with for years. We'll never get to see it. We'll never see the children do what they can do because they're so caught up in what's out there. Why? Because we haven't shown them a better way. We can only expect something from someone when we expose them to something. And if we expose them to the greater, Jesus said, I want you to be above average. Right. I want you to be, not to be mediocre. I want you to be in a place that when people think of this particular field, they think of you. Why? Because you flow in such excellence that I can't get nothing done. We got to become Joseph in Potiphar's house. That when Potiphar had him as a servant, but he saw the ability of Joseph. Oh, we got to push you up. You got to be second in command. Why? Because there's something inside of you that I need. Good question is, how many people are going to make it to heaven because of us? How many people are going to want more because of us? Right. Do they hear us complaining? Or do they see the balance and say, you know what, I'm going through this, but God can help me through this. But God, because we got some situations. We got some stuff to complain about. But I'm not going to complain about them, and that's not going to be the final thing. Because I remember the right hand of the Lord in the land of the living. Come on, stand to your feet.